Follow the Path. The Bears Grove is adult-level discussion of role-playing as a storytelling art at samchuppmedia.com. Hello and welcome again to another Bears Grove podcast. I'm Sam Chupp, your podcaster. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm not doing too well today. I really am not. I have read the full leaked draft of the OGL 1.1. It doesn't seem to be a very good story for people like Paizo, Pathfinder, and Starfinder. There's a lot of people out there that are really upset now. And, I'm just here to say that I stand with you, and, I don't want to see this hobby brought to its knees by greed. And I think we all need to think in terms of what can we do to address the fact that we're having to look at this tremendously restrictive so-called open gaming license 1.1. So I'll let you read it all for yourselves because I don't think that's within the scope of my podcast, but I just wanted to say, look, everybody, please don't let this drive you away from gaming, from roleplay, from TTRPGs. Don't let it break your heart, because this is bigger and better than any profit and loss on a spreadsheet. Okay? So do what you must. If you feel like you need to take some action, you can cancel your D&D Beyond subscription. I'm considering doing that myself. You can write a letter, an email. You can do some things to sort of let Wizards of the Coast know, hey, this is a problem. But in the long run, the almighty corporation is probably going to win out here. And that's sad. And it's pretty remarkable that OGL 1.0 lasted as long as it did. I don't think any other industry has ever experienced this level of licensing, this kind of licensing experiment. Well, it's more than an experiment. It's 20 years licensing era. So it saddens me that this is clearly some kind of weird idea of a cash grab, which, don't you make enough money anyway? Probably do. Anyway, so moving right along. Today is Tuesday. Tomorrow is World Building Wednesday. And I'll probably be having a podcast tomorrow too. We'll see. Wanted to talk a little bit about the basic concepts of running a game that is not Dungeons and Dragons. So the biggest hill that I have to climb with that is the fact that my players are usually unfamiliar with this game that I'm trying to bring to them. And that makes it more difficult because they've got two different streams of thought that they have to go through, right? On one hand, they have the concept of, well, I've got to role play, and all of the things that are going on with role playing, TTRPG style. And then they also have to figure out the new mechanics, which is a hard thing to do. And so you end up having a situation where, there's going to be a few rough sessions to start, okay? Because people aren't aware of the little bits and pieces that you can bring forward. So let's talk about that. What can we do to help people adjust to a new game? Well, the best thing I can think of is something that we use in the board gaming space or the card gaming space, where instead of playing our card hands picked up, where nobody can see our cards, we actually put the cards on the table and let everybody see what's going on in the game. So, and we also give people chances in that kind of scenario to back up, to sort of say, well, actually, let's not do that. Let me take that back and put this one out instead, because it's a better play. And while you're learning the game, this is a valid way to play, okay? So how do you do that in a TTRPG? The best way to do that is to just simply have everybody at the table understand that, we're learning this game, and as a GM, your job is to point out opportunities to them, to almost play both sides of the table, as it were. Instead of saying that you are, the referee, you're also a player, and so you're going to show people through your actions how to play the game. So you might say to somebody, hey, your character's a ranger, you have this power and this ability, and you can roll this if you want to do tracking, and you can roll this if you want to summon a nature spirit, or whatever. And that right there helps your players sort of learn their character, learn what they can do, learn what's okay in the context of the character in the game, and then turn around and say, okay, what can we do? What can I do now? The players can all sit around the table and at the end of the game and have a kind of a conversation afterwards, saying, okay, this is what went right, this is what didn't go quite right, and you can add your experiences to the learning experience. You can add each other's significant perspectives to the learning experience, and that's really important. Just be gentle with yourself, let everybody know what's happening, and try to use a familiar setting, because many times settings are an additional level of complication, the lore, the settings. So let's say you're playing Dungeon World, which is a Powered by the Apocalypse game, and it has some rules in it talking about different campaign fronts, different areas of the campaign, different powers, different abilities, and it has built into it a lot of things for the GM to use to create setting material. But if you utilize the D&D world that you were playing in, as far as setting goes, maybe that'll be easier for your players to be okay. That's my hope. So you need to just continue trying. Ask everybody for permission to have 5 sessions before you say this game is just not for me. And show them what kind of advancement you can expect. Because a lot of times, I think the big draw for a lot of people is to make their characters more powerful, to make their characters more capable, give them more powers, abilities, whatever. So in Dungeon World, there is an advancement concept. You have to mark experience when you fail. And that's simulation of, actual learning. Because when you make a mistake, that's, you mark an experience. After a while, you get enough experience to be able to add a new power or ability, or to upgrade one of your stats. And because it's not level based, this can cause some players some problems, right? This can cause players to go, well, I didn't really get a level. Well, yeah, no, you didn't, but you can now have, this power from this playbook. And you can see how, it affects your play next time you play. I know this is not, ideal. And I'm not suggesting that you never play D&D again. But I am suggesting that if a company wants to be this way, are they really looking out for the people who pay their bills? Are they really entering into a community? Or are they instead just trying to get all the money they can? I've noticed that there are some corporations that get to a certain point and they just don't care about their users. They don't care about their clients, their customers. They just don't care anymore because they know that you will come back to them no matter what. And that's kind of what's going on now with places like Apple and Tesla and other corporations out there that are just, they're just, hey, I don't care, whatever. You've bought X and Y, and now you're ours. And until we get to a point where we can say, I'm sorry, no, that's not true. You're not ours. I'm not yours. Then you're basically just catering to a corporation that's trying to ruin your fun. And I personally don't like that. I think that's probably not the best way to go. So my suggestion is find other games you might want to play just to give yourself that mental backup of, okay, if I don't want to play D&D anymore, I can play Dungeon World, or I can play Fate Core, or I can play all these other different games that I have. And there's a tremendous number of them out there, and you cannot, as I said before, you can't copyright, you can't patent an idea. You can copyright material, you can try and patent a process, but even then, if they try to claim that they had a patent on D&D, back in the day, that patent should have expired by now. So anyway, I hope everybody is doing okay, and please enjoy gaming as best you can. Don't give up. All will be well eventually, my friends, because I think in this world we are all going to move towards where the community is going. Okay? That's how it's always been. There is money to be made in this community, but not if you are assholes. Okay? There is money to be made. There are new gamers to be created. There's an entire, like, country full of people out here, like, who want D&D. They want to be able to play. Its popularity has grown to the point it is because of the OGL. And now they're taking the OGL away. So they're literally strangling the golden goose. Okay, fine. We can get our golden eggs other ways. And at any rate, please take care and have sweet dreams when you get them.